Hello dear students, how are you all doing? This is video number 2 on the topic Lewis structure and formal charge. And in the previous video, I've already given you an easy to follow flow chart. In this video, we shall be doing some more examples based on this concept. So continue with this video only after you have fully absorbed the contents of video 1, where I had given you a flow chart to follow the step-by-step method in order to draw the Lewis structure of any compound or an ion, right? So let's go ahead. Are you ready with your pen and paper? Because without practice, there is no learning. So I'm taking up the next example, that is example number 3. We've already taken care of carbonate and carbon dioxide in the previous video. Would you like to go ahead and do step 1, step 2, step 3, total valence electron, 1 from hydrogen, 4 from carbon, 3 of oxygen and 6 electrons from oxygen plus the charge. What do you get? Yes, we get here 24. The next step, what do? We assign a central atom. So here it's going to be carbon. No, it cannot be hydrogen because hydrogen is very small. Do you think it will be able to accommodate this big bulky carbon and oxygen around itself, and does it have that much capacity also? No. Now let's arrange carbon. So since we've already done the carbonate and the bicarbonate, we know that the oxygen can be attached like this. And considering the properties of bicarbonate, that we know that hydrogen is attached to an atom of oxygen. You can also try attaching it to carbon and find the formal charge, define it, draw the structure. You will know which one is correct, right? Because we know that it has the tendency, it's a electronegative radical. Right, now let's go ahead putting the electrons. So we'll have here 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I have put only 4. Why only 4? Yes, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Let me show them to you. 5 and 6, 7 and 8. We said that we are going to complete the octet of each atom, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have the electrons in the bond pair 7 and 8. You need not show the electrons of the bond pair again and again, just for clarity. So here we have 6. What's the next step? Any remaining electrons go to the central atom. Do we have any electrons remaining? Let's see. So we have here 8, 8 and 8. 8 times 3 is 24. So all electrons taken care of. What do we do next? We see if our host is happy or not. Is the host happy? Does the host have an octet of electrons here? No, it has only 6. So what do? We need to make the host happy. That means one of the carbon atoms needs to give its electrons to, one of the oxygen needs to give its electrons to carbon. Go ahead, try it yourself first. Now since our oxygen here is already accommodating the hydrogen, so let's request the other oxygen. Okay, so we go ahead and the oxygen forms a bond. So that means I will remove these electrons from here and convert the single bond between carbon and oxygen to a double bond. Done. What's the next step? We see the formal charge because our octet of carbon is complete. Formal charge. Now see the trick. Remember, wherever you notice, okay, do one thing first. Calculate the formal charge on each of the oxygenate atoms. So let's number it as 1, 2 and 3. Formal charge on oxygen number 1. Formal charge on oxygen number 2. Formal charge on oxygen number 3. Of course, we are not forgetting the formal charge on hydrogen and the formal charge on carbon. We have 2C each and every atom. So on oxygen, what's the charge? 6 valence electrons, 4 lone pair. It's 4 electrons in the lone pair minus 2. So we get a 0. Formal charge on oxygen number 2. So we again have the same, but there is only one bond that it is forming, minus 6. So what do we get over here? We get a charge of minus 1. And what about the third oxygen? So you have 6 minus, it is forming 2 bonds and it has 4 electrons in the lone pair, again a 0. So it's only, if you notice over here, the oxygen which is forming single bond, right? It is having a charge of minus 1. So probably we can, by logical thinking as well, in future we can do away with the step of calculating the formal charge for oxygen which is singly bonded, and we know that it's minus 1, right? We saw it in our previous structure as well. Now, next go on to the formal charge on hydrogen. So it's 1 valence electrons, 1 bond, so 0. Formal charge on carbon. So we have 4 valence electrons and 4 bonds, 0. So overall, this molecule has a charge of minus 1. Correct? So a quick tip or trick to remember. Oxygen forming 2 bonds has a formal charge of 0. Oxygen forming a single bond will have a formal charge of minus 1. That means our structure is correct. Okay, now for those of you who actually tried this question yourself and got it right, give yourself a smiley over there, and from my side right over there, well done, very good. Okay, now the next structure that I've given you is of oxygen difluoride, OF2. So atomic number of oxygen, if you do not know, it's 8, and atomic number of fluorine, it's 9. Go ahead, write the electronic configuration, find out the total number of valence electrons, TV. Try it. You want a second well done, right? You want a second tick. So go ahead, try it yourself based on what you have learned in video 1 and based on the examples that we've done so far. I hope you are trying it. You're not just waiting for the answer. Okay, so you've tried it. You've got the structure in place. Well done. So let's get started. So oxygen is 6 and fluorine is 7. 7 times 2, and I get the total valence electrons as 20. Now out of oxygen and fluorine, which is less electronegative and which is, yes, remember the criteria, which one are you going to take over here? Before the electronegativity, what was the criteria? Yes, the one which is smaller in, which has lesser number of atoms. So oxygen and fluorine. What do we do next? Let's put in the electrons here. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's the 7 and 8? 7 and 8, 7 and 8, right? Okay, let's check how many electrons distributed so far. 8 times 2, 16. So what are we left with? Is it sufficient? So whereas we had 20 electrons over here. So how many electrons are left? Yes, there are 4 more electrons left. So where do we put those electrons? We put it on the central atom. Now let's check. Is the octet complete for the central atom? Yes, of course the octet is complete. What about the formal charge? Go ahead and calculate the formal charge. Do our answers match? Well done. So if you notice, the formal charge on fluorine is 0, the formal charge on oxygen is 0. A perfect combination to get another well done from me. So you've collected 2 well done, right? Okay, Example number 5. The next one I'm going to leave it entirely to you. Honestly, I'm not going to guide. Try SO3 2 negative. That means we are talking about sulfite ion. SULPHITE. Why I'm saying TE specifically? Because students tend to confuse it with sulfide, SULPHIDE, or if you follow the American system, so you have SULFIDE as the spelling, and same way here SULFITE, right? So the difference is over here ITE and IDE. Okay, go ahead, draw the structure yourself and let me know if you get a well done or not. I'm still in the process of drawing. Have you done it? Oh, good, very good. I am still on step number 3, where I'm going to give the electrons to each of the oxygen atoms and see if the host is happy or not. So how many electrons do I have over here? 8 times 3 is 24. That means I do have 2 chips packet for the guest, for the host as well, right? Now they should be happy, correct? Each one of them has the octet. No? Did we stop at the octet? You see this chart where we said, okay, octet complete, but did we stop here? No. What do we have to do? We have to check the formal charges, which is a very, very important step. So go ahead. What will be the formal charges on oxygen? Yes, we said a little while ago that if it's a single bond, we can directly know that the formal charge on each of the oxygen is -1. Whereas the formal charge on sulfur is +1, so -3 + 1 should give us a -2, which should be good to go, right? This structure, there's nothing wrong with this structure. But if we study its behavior and the properties of the sulfite ion, we realize that this may not be the apt structure. Remember, these are structures we are postulating in order to define their behavior, right? Not the other way around. It's not that we'll say, okay, the molecule should have this structure, octet complete, and that's how it should be, right? No, it's the other way around. In order to define their behavior, in order to understand their behavior, we give the structure. Now we know, and we from our study so far, we know that sulfur is a big atom. You see in your group 6, let's say, or should I take it as its proper name? Yeah, so group 16 in the periodic table: oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, and so on. So you have, as you're going down, the size of the atom is increasing. I've already discussed the periodic table properties, or the periodic properties of elements, in my video on periodic table. So this sulfur of ours is a big atom. He is a big host. So a big host is happy to, yes, accommodate more. It is happy to form more bonds. So what does it do is, it pulls these electrons from here. We cannot leave our host unhappy with a positive charge. Remember, that's what I explained in the flow chart as well. So what do we have over here? This oxygen forms double bond with the sulfur, giving it a double bond over here. So what will happen to the formal charge of sulfur now? Go ahead. So you have 6 minus the 4 bonds minus the lone pair of electrons, and we have a 0 over here. Isn't this a better proposition, where the host is happy and satisfied? Because if the host is happy, the host will take care of its guest. And in all this, the interesting deal is the charge is still -2. Okay, let me know, did you get a well done in the structure of sulfite ion or not? Do share your comments. When you comment on the videos, it makes my day. Positive or negative, don't worry. If you criticize. I am happy because somebody is giving me a feedback and it gives me the impetus to do even better. If you give me a positive feedback, so what more can I ask for, right? It's worth the efforts. Ready for the next molecule? Oh, sorry, the ion. Sulfate ion. By the way, after doing sulfite, you can easily do bisulfite also, right? Oh yes, you just have to ask one of the oxygen to be accommodating, isn't it? Wouldn't it be this way? I don't know. Tell me whether this structure is right or wrong. I will wait for your answer in the comment section. Let's come back to sulfate ion, SO4 2 negative. Now try this structure, but remember an important learning from the last structure that we have drawn. And what is the learning that we did? That our host has to be happy. Our host is a big hearted person, is a very kind person, and is able to form more than 4 bonds. Isn't that a big hint? Go ahead, try it. By the way, what about the valence electrons? You see, these are elements of the same group. So the number of valence electrons for sulfur and oxygen will be the same. How many? 6. Go on, try it yourself. Why are you watching the screen? I am just getting the answer ready for you. Oh, look at that. Everybody's octet is complete. Are we done? No. We are not done. Yes. So what do we have to do? We have to find the formal charge. So what will be the formal charge of oxygen in each of these cases? Perfect. Each one of them is forming one bond. So it's -1, -1, -1 and -1. See, it's becoming so quick. Okay, what about the formal charge on sulfur? 6 valence electrons, 4 bonds, no lone pairs. It's got a 2 charge. Can we leave our host unsatisfied with that extra burden of cleaning up also? No. So what do we do? We request, please, you must accommodate the host, right? So what do we do? We form a double bond here. So what is the overall charge on the ion? Simple. Calculate the formal charge on sulfur now. So it was 6 valence electrons and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bonds. No valence, no lone pair of electrons. Good to go. And that is what makes the sulfate ion. And again, considering that this double bond, actually, instead of asking this oxygen, the double bond could have been formed here, right? The double bond could have been formed here, right? The sharing can happen anywhere. They are all so nice, but every time we have to make sure that wherever the double bond is not being formed, the number of valence electrons is 6. Sorry, the number of lone pairs is 6. And that's what we call again. What do we call it as? Yes, we call it as resonance. So overall, this ion has 2 negative charge. We shall explain resonance. We will need these structures when doing resonance. But I'm very sure after doing these Lewis structures, resonance is super easy. Okay, by the way, did you get a well done? That's nice. You are collecting so many well dones. Okay, let me test your understanding with the nitrate ion. You see, nitrogen, oxygen, 3 oxygens, and a negative charge on a total valence electrons. Go ahead, draw the structure. Again, remember, nitrogen is from which group? Some of the students call it as 5, some of the students call it as 15, depending upon how it has been taught in your curriculum or at what level you've been taught. Although I think for grade 11 and 12 we do teach it as group 15. So group 15 means it'll have 5 valence electrons, right? Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony. And what's the next element? Yes, you should learn the elements in a group. Total valence electrons, let's come back to it. 5 plus 6 times 3 plus 1, we get it as 24. What do? The central atom would be nitrogen. O, 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 O. The next step we do is dot, 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 dot. 6, 6, done. Okay, electrons distributed. Have we spread out all the electrons? Let's see. 8 times 3 is 24. Good so far. So what's the problem? Look at the central atom. First of all, there is no lone pair allocated over here because we don't have anything left. Is it happy? Is the host happy? No, the host is not happy. What do we need to do? Yes, one of the guests needs to share its chips packet with the host. Correct? Okay. Is it done now? Let's calculate the formal charges. They are pretty simple now. Can you write down the values? So we'll have here, of course, a 0. We'll have a -1 for this oxygen. We'll have a -1 for this oxygen. What about nitrogen? Formal charge on N. There are 5 valence electrons and 4 bonds and no lone pairs, gives me a charge of +1. So what do? Oh yes, that's what you're saying, right? We ask the oxygen to form a bond here as well. Would that be right? Think about it. What kind of a host is nitrogen? Is nitrogen a big-hearted host? Does he have a big house? We are talking about an element in period 2. Period 2 element. So does it have a big house? No, it does not have a big house. So do you think it is capable of forming a bond here with another oxygen atom? No, it cannot. It's already over its limits. See, being a small atom, it has already formed 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. We cannot burden it with more. Okay, it has a small positive charge. It's okay, because if we need to do away with this, we need to form a bond here, a double bond, right? And that will not be healthy for the host because he'll be forming 5 bonds. So now look at the charge. There's a +1, -1, -1. So net formal charge on the ion is -2 plus 1 is -1, which is right according to the charge on the ion. You see over here? This is what I had explained to you in the chart that we had drawn. What did I say? That if you have the central atom with a positive charge, if it's a small atom, that means an element in the second period, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, then it's okay. It's okay. I know we can't make everybody happy, but for a small atom, it is okay to have a positive charge on the central atom, but not okay if it's a big fellow whom we know can accommodate more. I hope I am not confusing you. Did you get a well done here? Okay, now if you got the structure wrong and if you had by mistake done it like this, right? If you did it like this, don't worry, you have company. In a hurry, initially, without going through the steps, I had also drawn this structure. Oh, sorry, very sorry. But that's part of my learning journey, just like this is part of your learning journey. Correct? Okay, so let's go ahead and learn from our mistakes and do one more example, number 8. Try the nitrite ion, NO2 negative. Tell me how many of you are enjoying the lesson. I thoroughly enjoyed while making the flow chart and practicing the structures before I recorded this video. It took me some time, but I'm very, very happy with the results. So let's get going. Total valence electrons. Let me know your opinion and what you went through while learning through this. 5 plus 6 times 2 plus 1. So what do we get over here? We get 18. Let's get going. So we have nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen lesser in number. Go ahead. Try it yourself. I'm not giving the answer here. Example 9. This is incomplete. Don't think that this is the complete structure. You have to complete it. It's easy. It's easy. Yes, it is easy. Example number 9. We are taking up the nitrogen dioxide, reddish brown gas, not the ion. See the difference. Earlier I spoke about nitrite ion. Now I'm talking about nitrogen dioxide gas. So there's not extra electron. So in other words, how many will be the number of valence electrons? Yes, of course, 17. Yes, you got it right. I am so impressed. 5 plus 6 times 2 and we have only 17. Let's get going. This molecule was really interesting. Okay, so we have nitrogen, we have oxygen, and let's allot our electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have over here 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Look at that. What did we have here? 17. So whatever remaining electron is there, where does it go? To the central atom. Isn't this odd? It's got only one electron over here. Now let's look at whether our host is happy or not. No, very clearly the host is not happy. It's forming 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 electrons only. So what do? We make the host happy. So we formed a double bond over here, right? Notice, see carefully. It's only 1 electron in the lone pair, not 2 electrons. Go ahead with the formal charge. Obviously, for this oxygen, the formal charge is 0. For this oxygen, the formal charge is -1. What about the formal charge on nitrogen? See, it's 5 minus the number of bonds minus the number of electrons in the lone pair. How many are there? Yes, this is an anomaly. See, very, very careful about this molecule, right? It's only 1 over here. So what are we left with? We are left with a +1 charge. So what's the overall formal charge or overall charge on the molecule? Yes, it's -1 plus 1. It's a 0. It's a neutral molecule. So it has 1 unpaired electron. What are those species called which have an unpaired electron? Remember, there is some intermediate species which has an unpaired electron. What are they called as? Yes, absolutely, they are called as free radicals. And this has the capacity to behave like one. Did you complete the previous structure? You want me to show you the structure, final structure? So this is the nitrite ion. So what's the charge on this oxygen? 0. What's the charge on this oxygen? -1. What's the charge on nitrogen? 0. 5 minus 3. And what have I missed in this structure? Absolutely right. The lone pair of electrons, right? So we have the structure complete, and because this oxygen has a -1 charge, this is, here we go. Happy so far with your performance? Did you get a well done in these last two structures as well? So we should be able to challenge ourselves even more, right? So we will take some more examples, like we'll take the example of nitric oxide, NO, or nitrogen monoxide. We'll take some more compounds of sulfur, so sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide, and maybe some bigger ions as well. So for example, chlorate ion. What about the structure of ozone? What about the structure of the peroxide ion? Yes, I am giving you hints and ideas of structures which you can try yourself before you hop to the next video, where I shall be giving you these structures or the answers for these. Now you've attended a video of almost half an hour. Relax. Take a deep breath. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle on yourself. Drink some water. Relax. You've learned so much. Well done. I'm so proud of you. You are so motivated. Come back for the next video. I love teaching this topic.